Hi friends, it's so nice to see you again and thanks for hanging out with me for some drawing. I hope you're all doing very well. I hope you're all safe and sound and hanging in there in this very strange time in history. Here we are to do some drawing, which is such a healthy thing to do. It's such a great break from just all the other crazy stuff that's going on. It's really wonderful to sit down and make something, to create something. One of the things that I've been doing to keep myself feeling good these days is to just take a lot of walks. So we live in a pretty nice neighborhood where there are a lot of old trees. And I love to walk around and just look at those beautiful old oak trees. And then down, a little ways down the road, there's also a tiny little pond. But it's just small enough to still have some, or just big enough rather, pardon me, to have some life in it. And there are some ducks that sometimes show up there, and I love to go and just look at the little ducks. Very nice. You know, one time I went to a baseball game where they had one of the players that was a duck, if you can believe that. He was great at playing in the rain, but all he ever did was hit foul balls. Okay, why don't we do a little drawing together now? You're going to need to get some materials for yourselves. You're going to need, let's see here, a pencil, a pen, a marker, a crayon, or maybe a reed, speaking of ducks, pulled out of a pond, that you could dip in some tar and just draw all over your parents' favorite work of art. Just take it down off the wall, put it down, and make your own work of art on top of that. And don't tell them I told you to do that. All right, now to do these drawings, you know we only have to be able to do 3 simple things to make 3 kinds of lines. Okay, now they are a straight line. Look at that, perfect. Y'all can make straight lines, right? Just like that. You also have to be able to make zigzags, zigzag lines, okay? They could be like this, be like that. They're all zigzags though, okay? And last but not least, you have to be able to make curvilinear lines, right? It could be this, it could be a C curve, a shallow C curve, an S curve going that way. Now our drawing today has a fair number of S curves, okay? A couple of straight lines. Don't think it has any zigzags if I remember correctly. But why don't we jump right to it now? Everybody, get your pencils, get whatever you're drawing with, and let's begin, speaking of S curves, with a semi-S curve, right? It's like almost an S curve. I'll show you what I mean, okay? I'm going to draw it first. Now, I don't want you to draw it just yet because I want to show you 2 ways to draw this line. Here's the first. I'm going to come up and over like a semicircle, and then I'm going to come down like that. Now, that's one way to do it, right? But if that looks like, that's a little complicated, let me show you another thing you can do. You can do a semicircle, right? Then you can just pause for a moment. Pick up your pencil, pick up your pen, right? Give yourself that little break and then carry on down with the rest of it. See that? So you can do it in 1 step or 2, really doesn't matter. Right? But I'm trying to make things easy for everybody, right? Now, next, watch this. I'll zoom in really closely so you can see exactly how I do this next. I'm gonna do a little bit of a curve like that. See that? Just curving in the other direction, very small. And then I'm gonna carry it straight out with a bit of a curve upward. See that? Just a bit of a curve. Slide that on down. All right, next I'm gonna do a little tiny curve out here. Tiny curve, tiny curve. And then I'm gonna curve that back to about here. Now, as I always say, one of the nice things you can do to give yourself an easy time with measuring how far you need to draw something, give yourself a little target, right? So I can make a little dot on my paper for where I want to go. I'll put it right there. See that? Now I know, okay, curve out to there. And that way I'm not doing any guesswork. Guesswork makes your life a little more difficult. We're trying to keep these things as simple as we can, right? All right, now I'm going to do a lovely S curve. The bottom of the S curve is going to be bigger than the top of the S curve. And it's going to be an S in reverse. Watch. I'm going to come out to the right and then out to the left and then down. And again, I can give myself a little target. I can say, look, this line ends here. I'd like to come down about this far. Alrighty. Give myself some space. And I'd like to have this end right about there. Okay, that's my little goal. So in, out, and down. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. That is my S curve. Okie dokie. All right, that's easy to do. You can follow along with that. All right, now we're going to do a little angle up this way. So we're just going to pop it up like that. Just pop it up and out. Okay, and straight across. And again, give yourself a target. Now, how long should this line be? Well, let me show you. This section of that first the two lines we drew at the beginning, or one if you did it in one pass, this section here, I want you to imagine you're drawing it again, right? So you come out to about there, and then I want you to imagine you're extending it another half of that distance or so, so maybe about to there. Okay, so if you want, again, here's what you do. Give yourself a tiny little dot to aim for, and then I just say, ah, bam, got it, right? That's the distance I want to get. And now I'm going to look at this angle, and I'm going to do a slightly more, closer to a right angle here, but not a right angle, but closer to a right angle than this, right? So a more acute angle than what we have here. Acute. Like that. That's the next step. Now I'm going to angle it back. Okay, I'm just going to carve back this way. And how far will I go? Well, let me show you something. Imagine that I want to stop on a horizontal here. So this is stop here. I want to come across this way and say, all right, again, give myself a little target right about there, and then connect those. Voila. Pause for just a moment. You guys can look and see how your drawings are doing and how they compare. Remember, they don't have to be exactly like mine, okay? I want to say hi to some folks in the chat and see who we have here today. All right, who's here today, gang? We have Steve and Sam and Steven and RB and Clever. We have Jay and Colby and Cornell and François Moment. C'est pas vrai. François, trop sympa que vous êtes ici avec nous. Merci bien de nous joindre pour un peu de drawing. Wow. I'm a huge fan of the work of François Moment. I can't believe that he is here, and I just don't know what to say. Chad is here. Hey, Chad. Jennifer, Ariana, Sahar, Samuel. Hey, everybody. Elizabeth, nice to see you. Oh, wow. Lots of nice folks here. Drawing with shapes is fun. I agree, Elizabeth. I agree. Absolutely. Eric Sue, hey, that's not a duck, he says. Earlier, Eric was saying that I try and trick people when I'm drawing, or it's not always obvious what I'm doing. Jean-Marc is here. Lots of nice folks. All right, Jane Thomas. Yes, I am in NC. Awesome. Where are you in NC? Let us know. All righty, now let's carry on. We're going to draw a line from here up to here. Watch this. Slightly different angle. Bam. That's all you got to do. Okay. And then we're going to follow along with this angle straight on down. Now, how far are we going to go? Well, remember where this was? Okay. Remember this is kind of cutting straight across. Probably need to bring that down a little farther. We're going to bring this one down to the same little spot like that. Okay. So just like so. Simple as can be. And then look, what are we going to do? We're just going to draw a line right across. Two choices here. Let me show you. Now you could do a little wavy line. All right. I want to do a straight line. I want the water to be still for this ducky. I'm sure by now you figured out this is a duck, right? Un canard. I believe that's the word in French. François, you can correct me if I'm wrong there. I'm going to draw a straight line right across like that. Whoops, looks like I overshot by a little bit. I can just erase that. No big deal. Okay, and there's my surface of the water for our duck. And now check this out. Here comes a nice, big, long, curvy line. Are you ready? I'm going to come all the way like this, very shallow C curve, rotated 90 degrees clockwise. It's going to come up and over, like so. And then just give it a little check mark at the end, okay? A couple of nice little details here. You ready? We're going to say 1 and a 2 and a 3. Right? Just some nice little feathery details. Not making anything too complicated. What about over here? What do? We just go a 1 and a 2. And leave that be. All right? Great. Now, let's give this duck a face. Here we go. I want you to cut in this way. Tiny little mark. And here comes a C curve that's going to connect with our S curve. Are you ready? C curve and connect. Just like that. Lovely. And I like to give the ducks a big round eye like this. Okay, have him looking back that way. Adorable. Now, why do we make the water still? Here's why. Let me show you a little trick. I'm going to do a line like this. Okay, give it a little break. Do another one maybe about here. Another little break. Do one a little closer to it. See how I'm staggering these and not making them all the same length or in exactly the same spot? Give this one a little space just like that. All right. Now, here's something fun. Leave a little bit of a break, and I'm going to pretend that this curve just keeps on going. Here we go. Woo, like that. Okay? Just like that. All right, and what we're going to do is show what's happening under the water. Okay? And then I'm going to come this way, leaving these little spaces, right? See that? Leaving these spaces. Okay? And then I'm just going to do this. A little cut that way, just a tiny one. And then I'm going to come out this way. See that little zigzag? Oh, I lied. There is a zigzag in there. There's a zigzag. There's that zigzag. Okay, and then down, like so. All right, so zigzag, zig. Now watch this. Leave a little space. Here comes a cool move. I'm going to come up, and then I'm going to curve back. I'm going to come up, curve back, like that. And then, woo, up that way again. Alrighty. And now right off of here, I'm going to do a different angle. I'm going to come that way. Same move, up and back. And there we have the cute little ducky legs paddling under that water. Okay? That's fun. Now, I am going to carry this line out a little farther here because I really want to do this. Watch this. I want to do this. I want to go 1 very shallow curve, 2 shallow curve as well, and then 3 and down that way. And then just a simple couple of lines like that. Maybe 1 here, 1 and 2, and maybe 1 there, right? That's a nice little change. And a 1 and a 2. And what do you have there? Just some nice little details. Again, this is your drawing. You can do whatever you like to make it customized, yeah? A custom job there for your drawing. And slide this ducky on over. It's time for a little art tip before we get to our animal and activity. So tell me in the chat how your ducks went. I hope you were drawing along. I hope some of you had a chance to draw a duck. Remember, these are always archived. You can watch these back anytime. You can stop them at any moment if you want to stop, follow along if I go too fast. You know, I hope I don't. Try to keep these about 10 minutes for the draw along, for the you draw section, and make that all manageable for everybody. Alrighty, so let's see what people are saying. Yes, beautiful canard, says Francois. Good, I got the word right. Ah, oui. Steve, you also speak French? Awesome. Eric is in Utah. Cool. Raleigh, all right. Jane, you go to NCSU. Awesome, my brother went there for 1 semester, then he transferred to Western Carolina. I was also a state school guy. I went to UNCG, so... Oh, man, I hope you all are safe out there at NCSU. Valder is here. Hi, hi, hi. Right. Oh, hey, Francois, that's really kind. Thanks. I'm glad you like the design of our duck. All right, let's carry on, folks. Here we go. Art tip of the day. What is the art tip today? Well, I'll just show you. This is a simple one. A lot of times when you're starting out drawing, you're drawing people and figures and characters. The hands wind up looking really stiff. You have a character, everything's going well, and I see people draw the arms, and then all of a sudden, the hand is like this. It's the person has their fingers splayed out. Ugh, that is not a comfortable way to keep your hand, unless you mean to gesture that way, right? But we're not always doing that. And so here's what you should try. When you have a character standing around, relaxed, okay? Maybe they're gesturing with one hand, but the other hand, think about what your hand does when you relax. How do you relax it, and what does it look like? What happens to the fingers and the thumb? Well, the most natural thing, if we're looking from the front, is this. You have the thumb coming down, right? And there's a space right there, okay? There's a space before you get to the fingers, all right? And you see how there are these joints we sometimes forget. Oh yeah, the fingers don't just curl around, right? They're not curvy, right? And then you got another knuckle sticking out there, and that finger is going to be longer, and it's going to curl in a bit more. And then the other fingers are just going to curl up like that. So check out what happens with your finger and your fingers, pardon me, and your thumb when your hand is relaxed and it's hanging down at the side. And with your characters, try and keep those hands from looking like they're constantly saying stop or I'm scared, something horrifying is happening, right? And you'll notice that goes. Now, if you want to simplify that, right, you can just do this. Boop. All right, I'm really going to keep it simple now. Curve it around. Whoop. Yoop. Even that is fine as an improvement, okay? But try not to do this crazy. Hands are always doing that. Unless you want it, it's jazz hands, right? Jazz hands all the time. It depends on what you're doing, but I'd say try not to do that all the time, right? All right, let's get those fellas out of the way because now it is time for the animal and activity game. And what I need for all of you to do is, in the chat, suggest an animal doing something strange, funny, bizarre, weird, and I will draw it for you in the time we have remaining. Alrighty, now yesterday, I'll just show you some examples of what happens here. Day one, look what we did. We had a little water skier there for the draw along, and then we had a unicorn eating a hamburger. It's just the kind of thing you see all the time, so nothing too unusual there. You can go much crazier than that if you want. You know, I just saw this the other day. I was driving by, saw a unicorn, a centaur was eating a taco. These are not unusual, but anyhow, let's see what you can do. I want to get a great suggestion from you all in the chat, and I will do my best to knock it out of the park in the remaining time that we have. So I'll look for your suggestions. Maintenant, that means right now in French. Alrighty, Ariana says, I struggle with hands. We all struggle with hands, but hands are shapes that if you break them down piece by piece, you know what? You get better at drawing them. Just learn the basic shapes. Learn that hand anatomy. We have a pelican painting. I love that. That's a cool idea. A stork dancing the can-can. Lovely. A running the snake. I'm not sure how I'd pull that one off. I guess it would look like a lizard, right? A duck eating a snow cone. That's fun too. Bunny riding a frog. How do I make a bunny ride a frog? I guess the bunny's just on its back and the frog is just hopping along. That's pretty cute. I like that one too. These are fun ideas. Hippo eating a banana. I drew a hippo the other day and I can't remember what it was doing. Hippos come up quite a bit actually. You'd be surprised. Spider riding a snake. Now all of a sudden we have animals on riding these other animals. I tell you what, I'm looking at these, and I'm digging the duck eating a snow cone. That's fun. I like this pelican painting. Squirrel playing tennis. Now I've drawn two animals playing tennis so far. I'm gonna pause on the tennis playing animals, but not for too long because I am a tennis fan. So don't worry, they'll come back. A cat doing ballet. Gosh, we haven't done a ballet drawing in ages, if at all. I can't remember if we've done a ballet drawing. Cat doing ballet. I think we're gonna do that. You guys keep throwing them out there though, just for everyone else's enjoyment. It's fun to see what everyone comes up with. You all are so creative. Excellent. Cat doing ballet. Let's see. Now, I'm not an expert ballet, but my daughter and my son did ballet for a number of years. 5 years probably. So I've seen what happens with those ballet poses. So what I'm going to do is grab my light blue pen, and we are going to go to town with a sketch, right? That's how we always start these. All right, what pose do I want? Well, it could be a leap of some kind, I suppose. A leap could be pretty nice, actually. All right, let's go for it. Ballet leap. So legs out. Tail could be out back, or it could be out that way. I think we'll go out that way. Gesture. I want to get the gesture of the pose. So we do this. We have kitty face right there. And the cat says, check me out. I'm an amazing ballet dancer. Meow. Okay. One arm out that way. And one back that way. Do they have the arm straight back, or is one of them up? I can't remember. Oh gosh. You know what? It's just going to be this. It's going to be a big leap, and that's all I'm going to do because I just don't know what else to do. Tail back that way. Let's give it an S curve. I like that. And there's one ballet shoe. And the other, like so. Right? Point those toes. Okay. And then there is the tutu, I believe that's called. Tutu. And there we have our ballet kitty. And all I do is I knock that sketch back and I grab a darker color. And now's the fun part. We get right to the action. We go 1. Oh, wrong layer. Sorry about that, gang. Here we go. 1. Actually, that feels better. And 2. This is going to be fantastic kitty ballet dancer. And there's a nice big ear right there. Bring that head down that way. And get the front of that. It's called a leotard, right? Help me out, gang. I should know all these things since I went to so many of those little ballet practices with my kids to watch them do it, but you know, I just don't think my memory is very good. I know they looked adorable doing it, that's all I know. I think I'll have this hand have the fingers up. Maybe the pinky out like that. That's kind of nice. And here we go. There's that. I guess it's not really so much a tutu as like a skirt of some kind, right? I don't know. And there's that one leg. These go crisscrossy, right? Like that. One little slipper out that way, and go out that way. Ba 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 ba. Oh, and another slipper out that way. And we have to have her leaping through the air, leaping through the air. And there's that tail. How about a few little stripes on that tail, right? Put a few little stripes right there too. Whiskers. Hide our sketch there and see how we did with that. Okay, and then I can do, whoops, put these little seams there. And maybe there's a lovely like pattern. Why not? Why not do some pretty details? Huh? Why not? We can do that, right? Alrighty, now it's ballet, so we have to have some music happening around her. There we go. Ba, 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 ba. Look at me, I'm a ballet kitty. What do you think about that? Fun suggestion. Fun suggestion. I like it. Let's add a little bit of a shadow there. A shadow there. Right. That helps, I think, to make that work. And I tell you what, gang, I think we got it. Excellent. Look at that. Look at that. What do you think? Does that work for you all? I hope so. Works for me. Works for me. Well, okay. How about that? So, you know, another fun time hanging out and drawing with everybody. I hope you all enjoyed that. I hope that, you know, you're going to do some drawing with your weekend, which is coming up soon. Tomorrow I've got my masterclass, so please tune in for that. Masterclass is tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern. That's 1 p.m. Pacific, We'll be continuing our conversation about composition. I'll talk about arabesques and leading lines, and I'll do a little drawing for you. And that'll be a cool conversation. Please do join me for that. I'm excited about this masterclass series. I'm going to be doing so many other things with it as well. So everybody take care, and please remember to be kind. And I'm so glad you had a little moment to hang out with me today. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you next time. So be safe, all right? Take care.